Hello there, it's Ryan Liberty, and in this video I want to answer the question, what is anxiety? Do you know what it is? Feeling a little bit of it right now, so we're going to go ahead and check it out right after this.
Ooh, ah.
Alright, so here we are. We're going to answer the question, what is anxiety? So anxiety, before I get into exactly what it is, I want to distinguish it from fear, because we often get those two confused. So fear is a reaction to a real threat that's right in front of you, a real situation that could threaten your safety. So if you've got an animal, a large animal charging at you, you start to feel this emotion, these feelings arising up in you, that is a fear response, whereas anxiety is something that arises to an imagined threat or a future threat that hasn't happened yet. And there's the distinction. A fear is real, anxiety is something that we haven't actually experienced or we're not currently experiencing. So that's the difference between fear and anxiety. I will mention that anxiety, we typically think of it as a negative thing, but there are appropriate times that anxiety comes up in our life. And those are times when it functions to focus us and to take notice, look at something and make an appropriate, focused decision about something. Anxiety is great at getting us to zero in and take notice of something important in our lives. So it does have a positive benefit. It becomes a negative when we start to ruminate on it, when it becomes pervasive, it swallows our world, so to speak, and we aren't able to function like a healthy person would. I will mention that anxiety has a state or a trait. It could be either one or both. So anxiety as a state is just that emotion that you get, that normal feeling. It's temporary, it passes, it's something that just kind of comes up and goes as we go through life. And a trait is a part of your personality that will pervasively, it's just normal. It's your baseline anxiety. So we all have different baseline anxieties. Some people are just more anxious than others. Now, a trait is not permanent, and we can discuss that in another video, so I don't want anybody to be alarmed, but we should distinguish whether anxiety that you're experiencing is from a state or a trait when we're talking about anxiety. And the last thing to mention is that there are a number of anxiety disorders, and these typically are classified into appropriately named anxiety disorders, obsessive compulsive disorders, and trauma and stress-related disorders. So keep that in mind. Now let's get into what anxiety actually is. So anxiety, as we experience it in our body, can feel like muscle tension. It can feel like fatigue, numbness, and I have my notes down here. I'm just going to take a look because I want to make sure I get everything. Dizziness, shortness of breath. There could be some sweating. There could be rapid heartbeat. Rapid breathing, chest pain, you may get diarrhea, nausea, which can also be linked to irritable bowel syndrome. And you may have an exaggerated startle response, which is also something I could talk about in another video. So those are your body reactions to anxiety. You may have also thoughts. So your thoughts, to begin with, may feel you may have difficulty concentrating. It might be hard to have thoughts. But you may have a focus on yourself and what are people thinking about you, your appearance. You may be worried over that. You may have intrusive thoughts. We can also talk about that in another video. You may begin questioning yourself. Am I doing things right? Am I okay? You may start to think, did I forget something? Is there something missing? Am I doing something wrong again? Is a common one. And a focus on what other people are thinking about you. Was that embarrassing? Did I do the right thing? These are the kinds of questions that constantly pop up in the mind when we have anxiety. So those are your thoughts. The emotions that are associated with anxiety are things like fear, worry, feeling insecure, nervous, like you're overwhelmed, like something bad is going to happen or it's happening right now. You feel like you're on edge. and those are your emotions. And finally, the behaviors associated with anxiety. You may avoid things that feel like they're not safe to you. You may start to use some coping mechanisms, some of them healthy, some of them not so healthy, to deal with the anxiety. You may find a place or a person that feels very safe to you, and so you cling to that. So that could be a best friend or a romantic lover that you always have to have them nearby to feel good, or it could be that you always need to stay at home because that feels safe to you. You may, if you find yourself in a situation that doesn't feel safe, leave. So if you have like a social anxiety and you're at a party, you may decide this is too overwhelming and scat and get out of there. And in general, when people have anxiety, they may limit themselves to what they do because of the reaction to all those feelings, thoughts, and body reactions to anxiety. So this has just been a quick overview of what anxiety is. I hope it gives you a much more human perspective on what it is and clarifies some things there for you. And I love that you are interested in this topic and want to know more. So thank you here for joining me, and I appreciate you. Hey, it's Ryan Liberty. If you liked that video, please give it a thumbs up, share with a friend, and leave any questions or comments below because that would really help me out. If you find that you're stressed trying to achieve your goals, I have a free tool for you today that will help you get your goals done, so click to get that. And if you'd like to see the rest of my videos, click subscribe. As always, I want to remind you that your life matters. Nobody can question your worth. However it is that you're feeling, whatever it is that you're going through, it's okay, and you are loved. Thanks again for watching.